The 6th of April 1901 in the town of Turin in Italy, something special occurred. A boy by the name of Pier Giorgio Frassati was born to his parents Alfredo and Adelaide. His parents may have not known it, but this man would grow up to be quite an extraordinary Catholic. As a child, he had a deep desire to help people, so much so that one time a woman came begging to the Frassati household with her son who had no shoes on his feet. Giorgio was so compassionate and felt so bad for him that he took off his own shoes and gave them to the poor young man. Along with his compassion for the poor, Frassati had a deep spiritual life. At a young age, he joined the Marian sodality and the apostleship of prayer and obtained permission to receive daily communion which he had a deep love for. As Frassati said, "I urge you with all of the strength of my soul to approach the Eucharistic table as often as possible. Feed on this bread of the angels, from which you will draw the strength to fight inner struggles." It was his love for communion and his love for the poor which really became strongholds of Pier Giorgio's life. At the age of 17, he joined the St. Vincent de Paul Society and gave much of his spare time to helping the sick and those less fortunate. With the little that Frassati had, he would give to the poor, even donating his bus fare money to charity and then running home instead. He dedicated his life to help the poor and the suffering. As we quote Blessed Giorgio, "Every one of you knows that the foundation of our religion is charity. Without it, all of our religion would crumble, because we would not truly be Catholics as long as we did not carry out, or rather shape our whole lives by the two commandments in which the essence of the Catholic faith lies: to love God with all our strength and to love our neighbours as ourselves." When Frassati graduated from his studies in the 1920s, his father offered him either a car or a good amount of money for graduating. Frassati chose the money so that he could donate it to the poor because he knew that they needed it more than he did. Along with his love for Christ and the poor, Frassati had a strong passion for the outdoors and mountaineering. He organised regular hikes into the mountains with friends in which they would regularly talk about their faith or pray whilst in nature. His habit was to attend Mass before the trip and then visit the Blessed Sacrament on the way back. He had a deep love for the Eucharist and regularly would spend entire nights in adoration of the body of God. As Frassati said, "Jesus comes to me every morning in Holy Communion. I repay him in my very small way by visiting the poor. The house may be sordid, but I am going to Christ." And it was God's will that he would leave this earth at a young age, just 24. On the 30th of June 1925, whilst boating with two friends, he felt strong pains in his back muscles. He went home with a severe headache and a fever on the 1st of July. On that same day, it just so happened that his grandmother passed away and the family was grieving. Pier Giorgio Frassati decided to say as little as possible about his own health and move attention away from himself in love and respect for his grandmother. The next day, however, Frassati couldn't move. The doctor came around and asked Frassati to get up, in which he couldn't. Shortly thereafter, he was diagnosed with polio and the end was not far away. Frassati died on July the 4th after the priest had given him the last rites as his mother held him in her arms. His final words were, "May I breathe forth my soul in peace with you." Some people may question why Frassati decided to live a life of so many sacrifices that to many would seem too hard. But in Frassati's own words, the end for which we are created invites us to walk a road that is surely sown with a lot of thorns, but it is not sad. Through even the sorrow, it is illuminated by joy. Yes, a true Catholic life may have roads which will test us, and the world will not understand it, but it will fill us with a deep meaning, with the end goal of being in heaven with our Lord Jesus Christ.